We should all be preparing for a cold, for a harsh winter. You don't have to look very far to see developing crises, and one of the things they say about crises is it brings with it opportunity. The opportunity I see is for men to re-engage as being providers, as being protectors. This is the role of husbands, fathers, sons. This is something I think we've lost in the previous decades in the West. The West, especially the UK, has been a particularly safe place to live. We haven't really needed to be protectors, to be providers, because everything is on tap at all times. But as things change, I think men re-engaging, being providers, will bring with it meaning for men. It will engage the male psyche in a way that it probably hasn't been engaged with for 50 plus years. And that's one of the opportunities I see as the situation globally changes. One of the things that is starting to be brought up now is the winter gas shortage. Western Europe, the UK, is particularly reliant on gas imports, pipelines from Russia, ships coming in full of gas, liquefied gas. That's something, with everything that's going on in the world, seems to be becoming quite disrupted. I don't really watch the mainstream media, but I'll leave a link in the description to a channel called Monaco64. He has quite a good video a week or two ago summarising the potential for quite a catastrophic disruption to gas supplies. It may just mean much higher bills. It could potentially mean gas shortages, and the fact you turn your mains gas on, your gas boiler on, and there's no heat, there's no energy coming through that, and that also could snowball into being shortages of electricity. So this is an area, as men, as providers, we should be thinking now for looking at securing your energy, your autonomy, your ability to be an independent provider. So one of the things I've got a lot of like outdoor equipment. When I buy my outdoor equipment, I often think how it can be used secondarily in an alternative role. If the electricity goes off, if the gas goes off, I've got my wood burning stove, the large one. That's great. You can boil water on that, you can cook on that, you could potentially heat your home, although you'd have to think carefully how you placed it in your home, how you ran the chimney, possibly out of an open window. That would really be like a last resort, but that's something that I think about. I've got the small wood burners that would be ideal for cooking on, sleeping bags, just various bits of kit that in a situation, it's not to say this winter may be a very mild winter, it may pass us by almost unnoticed without increases in gas prices, without supply disruptions. That may be the case, or it may be the case that we have a particularly cold winter and various geopolitical reasons, which we won't go into too much, that there are big problems. It pays to be prudent. That historically has the way it's been. Every one of your generations before you has gone through winters, has had to survive through hardships, and it's not necessarily going to be any different just in our lifetime, because we live fairly comfortable lives. So maybe start thinking about what you need to be prepared. You can be quite pragmatic with it. You don't need to go full on prepper. You don't need an armory and a bunker. That's not necessarily what it's about. I mean, I sort of think for probably less than £300, you could provide yourself with various ways of heating your house, where that's a little wood burning stove, propane bottles, propane heaters, like backup off semi off grid means. I like the wood burning stove because you can go in any wood. Even in winter time, even when the wood's damp, I've used my wood burning stove in the depths of winter, in the depths of dampness, and been able to find wood, find dead trees that are still standing, so they're relatively dry. You can break that up, cut that up with a saw, provide yourself a means of heating, boiling water, cooking, heating. So that's something I think we should all be thinking about. It's not something we want to happen, but I think it's something we should be prepared for, and by preparing for it, I think that will only do men good, because the soft Western lifestyle isn't that great on the male psyche, and it's something we should kind of embrace going forward. We don't want it to happen, but we should be prepared for it, and it will probably do men some good along the way to kind of re-engage with what historically has been what the role of men to do, whether you're a son, whether you're a father, whether you're a dad. It doesn't really matter. But have a provision. Start thinking about ways to heat your house, because it potentially could be a problem this winter. Start thinking about filling your pantry, fill in just an area of your cupboards with a few extra bags of rice, a few extra bags of pasta, dried food. Maybe think about some water filtration means, because it's not something that we can say for sure will happen. We certainly don't want it to happen, but it's something you should be prepared for. So prepare for the cold winter. I think it's one that you've got time on your side. It's still warm out. Most people aren't thinking about this. Most people won't be thinking about this until a crisis is so obvious to them that the shelves are already bare. So think about preparing now. Think about preparing and protecting your kids, your wife, your parents. And if you don't have those things, thinking about what you can do to help in your wider community. If we start seeing disruptions, the gas goes off, the electricity goes off, it's probably only going to do your mind some good. You kind of re-engage in what has been evolved into you as a male. We'll just say male because it's likely that you are going to be male watching this channel. I can see by the analytics that's the case. If you're female, think about how you can help in that scenario. Thanks for watching this video, guys. As always, leave me any comments. Do you think this could be a harsh winter? Do you think there may be problems with gas shortages, energy shortages? We're already starting to see shelves bare, logistic problems. It's happening. And how much will it impact us? That's probably the real question. Not if, not a case of if, but when and to what extent. I think it's really the question. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you next time.